Welcome to The Silent Mind. Today we explore a quiet mental pattern that many people experience but rarely discuss openly. The tendency to replay conversations in your mind long after they have already happened. You may recognize the feeling. A short interaction ends. You walk away, yet hours later your thoughts return to the same moments. What did I say? What did they mean? Did I misunderstand something? The mind begins to revisit the conversation, analyzing small details that seemed insignificant at the time. At first glance, this habit appears like overthinking, but beneath the surface, something more complex is taking place. Human communication is rarely just about words. Every conversation carries tone, facial expression, emotional signals, and subtle social cues. Your brain processes all of these elements simultaneously, and sometimes it continues processing even after the interaction ends. Replaying conversations is often the mind's way of searching for clarity. When an interaction contains uncertainty, the brain attempts to resolve it. It reviews what happened, comparing possible meanings and outcomes. This process helps the mind feel prepared for future situations. In psychological terms, this is a form of cognitive processing. Your brain is organizing information, trying to understand the emotional and social landscape of the interaction. However, the same mechanism can become repetitive. Instead of reaching closure, the mind loops through the same moment again and again. Part of this happens because social connection matters deeply to us. Humans are wired to maintain relationships and avoid social conflict. When a conversation leaves even a small doubt about how we were perceived, the brain treats it as important. Another reason conversations repeat in the mind is emotional sensitivity. Some individuals naturally pay closer attention to subtle emotional cues. They notice tone shifts, pauses, and expressions that others might overlook. This awareness can be a strength. It allows deeper empathy and social understanding, but it can also increase mental analysis. When your mind detects a possible hidden meaning, it keeps returning to the moment, trying to interpret it accurately. Memory structure also plays a role. Our brains prioritize emotionally charged experiences. If a conversation contains embarrassment, tension, or uncertainty, it becomes more memorable. The stronger the emotion, the more likely the brain will revisit it. In this way, replaying conversations is not always negative. Sometimes it helps us learn. By reflecting on past interactions, the mind improves future communication. It adjusts tone, wording, and timing. Reflection strengthens social intelligence. The challenge appears when reflection turns into rumination. Rumination occurs when the mind searches for answers that cannot be fully resolved. The conversation is already finished. The other person is no longer present. Yet the brain continues analyzing as if the moment can still change. This is why the replay can feel endless. Interestingly, replaying conversations is often linked to a strong desire for understanding rather than perfection. The mind wants clarity. It wants emotional alignment with others. When that clarity is missing, the brain keeps searching. Modern communication can intensify this pattern. Text messages, brief conversations, and digital interactions often lack tone and context. Without clear signals, the mind fills in the gaps. And when the brain fills gaps, it frequently imagines multiple possibilities. This creates further loops of interpretation. Confidence and self-perception also influence mental replay. When individuals doubt their social impact, they may review conversations more frequently, not because they lack intelligence, but because they care deeply about how interactions unfold. Awareness of this habit is the first step toward balance. Your mind is not replaying conversations to punish you. It is attempting to understand. But understanding does not always require endless analysis. Sometimes the most helpful response is allowing the moment to remain unfinished. Not every interaction needs complete certainty. Human communication is naturally imperfect. Pauses, misunderstandings, and unclear signals are part of how people relate to one another. When the mind recognizes this, the replay begins to lose its urgency. Reflection becomes learning rather than looping. Ultimately, replaying conversations reveals something important about the human mind. We are not only speakers, we are interpreters. We search for meaning in tone, intention, and connection. and sometimes the mind simply continues the conversation internally, not because something went wrong, but because understanding matters to us. This has been the silent mind, where silence reveals what noise cannot.